All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. In this episode, we're doing a pretty depressing movie.
I'm glad you started out with that because it is a very depressing movie. I actually don't like this movie.
Kurt was like, I don't like to feel this way.
No, it makes me feel icky. I don't like it. When I watch a movie because I want to like be excited or escape and like go to like some other world or something. Yeah. I don't want to go into depression when I watch a movie.
And here's where we disagree, because a lot of times I'm the negative Nancy, right? Like I hated. And I always forget what it's called. Terminal List. Everybody loved Terminal List. Terminal List is kind of like the epitome of this, right? It's like don't think upbeat action. Just kind of go with it. Don't analyze it at all. Have fun.
Yeah. And
so I didn't like it. You loved it. And then this is kind of the opposite, where it's like, think about this. Think about this harder. Like, what is this? This is something that's not fun to watch necessarily because it's so real, but it's also pulling you along on this journey that people have like really, dedicated their lives to. The idea of quitting our jobs and quitting our lives and essentially putting our own family aside to focus on other people's families is kind of like something we would all love to do.
Yeah. In
the back, right? It's like at the back of our minds that we could just take all the experiences we have, especially you and I, as we used to be special forces. I used to be a police officer. We have all this experience that we could take and essentially apply to helping children. So there's a deep-rooted part of us that wishes we could just quit everything and chase that goal, which would be completely horrific for our families. Right? Because we would essentially just disregard our families for other people's families. And that's not okay, but there's part of us that wishes we could do that in the hopes of making the world a better place.
Yeah.
And then you have a movie like this that then becomes this massive controversy.
Right.
And before I even watched this movie, because I didn't watch this movie until 2 days ago, I heard about the controversy and how like everyone was banning it and people didn't want to show it, and it was this huge issue with this movie. So we kind of looked into it, and what did we find?
Well, for one, like so many other things right now, it became political right off the bat. And so you got the actor who's got, a lot of political controversy behind him, Caviezel, because of his beliefs, his political beliefs, and some of the things that he said and done in the past. And so from there, it snowballs almost. And, a lot of people are saying it's because of the subject matter of the movie, but then they're also saying that, a lot of the far right-wing media and stuff like that hops on board and starts supporting it. So then because of that, the far left immediately is opposed to it, and it creates this whole controversy where it's just like left versus right. And because I don't know what it is right now in today's day and age, everything has to be so political. You can't just sit down and watch a movie for what it is. And so it's just making it this big controversy at this point.
Yeah, but make no mistake, the politicalness of this absolutely skyrocketed this movie. Because of that political fight, this movie made more than Tom Cruise's movie.
Right.
Now let's jump into this movie. So, if anyone's wondering, detectives do have to watch everything. And it sucks, and like especially child abuse detectives, I could never do that job. They have to watch. It's evidence.
Yeah.
They're looking for it. They have to watch it. They have to sit through all of it. That is horrifying.
So there was a really good podcast that I listened to. It's called Hunting Warhead, and basically they were on this international child abuse ring. And they were interviewing some detectives, and that is their job, is to seek out these people. And he was saying, like, for years, that's all he has to do is watch these videos and try to get clues and find out where these kids are at. watching and finding, listening to TV commercials and knowing that this commercial is in this language, it's only shown in this region, or trying to look for different clues. And one of the big takeaways that I got from that was he was talking about how mentally scarred and damaged he is from watching these videos, because it's not something that anybody wants to see, but for his job, in order to save these kids, he has to watch it.
That's horrific.
So to see the scene where he's like going through it and you see the tear drop from his eye, man, I could not imagine having to do that on a daily basis or at all, especially for like a job or whatever. That is deplorable. I mean, it's kind of noble when you think about it, because you're sacrificing yourself. It's like jumping on a grenade, because you're sacrificing your mental health and your own sanity in order to save somebody else who cannot defend themselves.
Absolutely.
So it's very noble, but man, hats off to the guys that do this people that do this for a job.
Don't ever step into my office again looking like you just walked out of a freaking Banana Republic ad. Save that for Bogota. This is Cartagena. It's a beach town, a party town. Lighten up. All right. Guy's down here looking for a little pedo action. What's he wear?
Chancleta, flip-flops, t-shirt.
Exactly. What I need to see is some horny, hungover, rich Americans stinking a beer.
I love that advice.
Yeah.
Like the gray man advice there is perfect. It's like the exact breakdown that any SF guy would ever give to somebody about why. It's like, figure out a storyline. Who is in this location? Why are they here? What's their motivation for being here? What are they doing when they're here? And what are the kind of things that they like? So then your whole image fits the story.
Yeah.
You're drunk, rich, American, hungover. You're just here to get smashed, do disgusting things, and pretend like this is the Vegas of the higher echelon, of the even more illegal activity. And you're going to do all that. And you're going to jump out of the most big, obnoxious black vehicle with some rims on it. And you're just staggering out of the thing stinking.
Yeah.
The storyline, if anyone's ever wondering, I did a video years ago, how not to be the gray guy or something like that. And everyone kept commenting like, you don't understand what it means to be a gray man. And it's like, I was making fun of the gray man thing and talking about not being a gray man in selection. And people took that the wrong way, because they think that I don't understand what gray man is actually about. And his breakdown of this is perfect for gray man. It's using common sense and logic to understand your environment, where you are, why you're there, and having a whole backstory that when you look at somebody, it fits the location, it fits the time, it fits the year, the genre, everything fits, so you don't even look twice.
It's almost like blending in by standing out, right? So this guy is showing up there. He's thinking he's going to have his whatever shirt on and get out of an inconspicuous car and all that. But that in itself is suspicious.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
A white guy would be flaunting their money. They'd be doing all this. They'd be drunk and
You're being
hungover.
more outlandish, but by doing that, you're fitting in with your demographic. Because clearly you're a white guy in this area. So don't try to be like a local. Be like a regular white guy in the area would be.
Yeah, and I also like, one of the things I like about this movie is that Jim Caviezel's character playing Tim Ballard, Timoteo. It's really weird. Like Timoteo. Like, or just Tim. Is that they never try to make him a hero.
Yeah.
He's never the guy that's like killing 20 people and doing all this crazy stuff. He gets it wrong. They give him advice. He takes the advice and he moves on and he does it. There's even a fight scene, and they filmed it really well to where they have her close her eyes, and so you don't see a lot of the fight scene. So almost like bringing down this superhero side instead of like ramping it up like most people in Hollywood
He's
would
not
do.
a John Wick.
Right. They were not trying to make him a John Wick. They're trying to keep him a normal dude that's doing the best he can, trying to save kids, oftentimes in and over his head, things like that. So I really liked how, in today's movie making, instead of ramping up the John Wick, pull it down a little bit. Yeah. Make him real.
He's just a guy figuring it
Just a
out
dude.
as he goes.
Yep.
When you get on that water, you're on your own. Do me a favor. Keep this with you. GPS? You can keep it in your wallet or, I don't know, inject it.
So you can locate our bodies,
Is that fucking Bert Kreischer? Dude, that
Looks
dude's
like it, right?
that dude's fucking Bert Kreischer's dirty uncle, bro.
It's a step up from what he's doing.
Jeez.
Something noble in this one.
So what? Okay, so what I like about the scene is the injectable GPS. What are you doing with it?
That's injectable GPS?
Mm-hmm. It came with a syringe.
Yeah.
It's injectable GPS. What are you doing with it? In this situation, you're about to go in. You're likely going to die. What are you doing with the injectable GPS? Are you keeping it in your wallet or are you inject it in your butt cheek? Like,
No, I'm not injecting that.
you're not injecting it?
No, hell no.
I'm injecting it.
Why?
You're about to go on a suicide mission, and the only thing that's going to be able to find you is that GPS they just handed you. And if they find it, it's worthless. I'm injecting that thing in a place that I can remove it later, but I'm putting that thing inside my body.
I must have missed what just happened. How is this like inside a serum or is it like a chip?
It's a chip. It's an injectable chip
Oh,
that they're going to
okay.
be live
All right,
tracking. And
Can you just swallow it?
I mean, then you could have it for 24 hours.
I mean, hopefully the mission will be over by then.
I need it longer than that.
Just don't poop.
Yeah, so
Just hold your
whatever
poop.
you want. You could swallow it. You could put it. He said you could put it in your wallet. You can inject it. Whatever you want to do. Just know this is a GPS
All right.
and it comes in an injectable form to make it easy.
All right,
for you.
well, I'll put it in my booty cheek.
You put it in your booty cheek? I was
Yeah.
gonna say because I'm putting it in my
I
booty
mean, that's
cheek.
a good place.
Yeah.
If you got to dig it out with a knife, I'd rather dig it out from there than
Right.
somewhere else.
I will. If you are the one injecting it, knowing that you could remove it later, I might put it in a thigh somewhere I could easily self-operate if I had to. But likely, I'm just gonna, if I make it out of this situation alive, go to the hospital and be like, I have a GPS. I need you to surgically remove.
Yeah.
But I'm putting it inside my body.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I might just hold on to it real tight.
Okay, that's your call. That's a tactical decision.
Because, I mean, if I'm dying, I'm dying. So it doesn't matter to me if they find my body or not. But I guess for my family, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, take this. I'll feel safer. I think I'll be better off without it.
So two things about that scene that stood out for me. One, you're going into this crazy mission into the jungle. Instead of just going in and being a superhero, they actually have a good backstory again. A UN peacekeeping mission to where they wanted, he's a doctor delivering vaccines. Good. Again, create a good backstory. One that backs up. You could prove it. It looks the part. Everything they're driving is UN vehicle. They have the vaccines, enough vaccines. I think that's all super smart. And then the police officer gives him a gun and he turns down the gun.
Right. Yeah.
I think that was also a really good tactical decision.
Yeah.
If you're fitting the part 100%, the only thing that's saving you is that they believe your role
Yeah. If you have
as
a gun.
as a UN diplomat. If you have a gun, you blow your role. You blow your cover completely.
Yeah.
So then you're dependent on the fact that they don't find the gun or you use the gun efficiently enough to get yourself out of the situation.
Yeah, but I think you made a good choice because just having that gun adds another layer of jeopardy that you don't need.
Right.
So,
You're dead either way.
situation like this, yeah, exactly.
The situation's so dire that they either 100% fully believe you, which in that case you wouldn't have a gun, or you're dead. So the gun is a negative thing.
Yeah.
The gun is something that most people would take out of fear, but he had the whereabouts to know, as a UN guy, I wouldn't have this. And if I'm gonna have any chance of getting out of this alive, I'm not gonna carry this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't carry the gun. And it's a terrifying decision to have to make, but I think it was a smart one.
Yeah.
And it ended up proving to be the smart one because they searched him, and if he had a gun, he would have got executed on the spot.
Sure.
So, all right, guys, let's jump out of this depressing movie. But I think it's important that we did it, and I'm glad that I watched Sound of Freedom. I actually really enjoyed the movie. It was hard to watch, for sure, but I think it had a positive message. I don't think it was political. I don't think that they were trying to shove, QAnon or whatever the fuck down your throat, because I don't even know what QAnon is. That being said, when we were researching this, there was some controversies that came up that should be worth mentioning. And what did you find?
So Tim Ballard founded the organization, and what this whole movie is about, he started an organization called Operation Underground Railroad. And so they've gone out, and I want to say they've conducted like 4,500 arrests all across the world, not just, in South America or whatever. There's actually a really good documentary called Operation Toussaint that they did, where they followed one of their operations down in Haiti. They mostly hire ex-Special Forces, ex-Navy SEALs to conduct their on-the-ground operations. But this guy, Tim Ballard, actually recently got kicked out of the organization that he founded because he's got some allegations against him of potential sexual assault or coercion or abuse against some female staffers that worked with him and with the organization. I don't know if any of them have been founded, but it was, I guess, serious enough that he had to leave the organization. But the organization as a whole, from what I understand and from what I know from the past, is actually a good organization with a great mission. And they're not the only ones. There's other organizations that are going out and doing kind of gray work where it's not really sanctioned by the U.S. It's like in a weird area where it's like, we don't support and sanction you, but we also aren't going to necessarily pursue you because of what you're doing. But yeah, so there's a lot of different sides to this, and so I don't know. I kind of do enjoy like the organization though and what they're doing and their overall mission. But yeah, like with everything else, you kind of got to look into it and see what's going on under the surface.
Cool.
We'll
Let's
just leave it
move
at that.
on. Jump into some funner movies. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. We just thought it was important to jump on and talk about Sound of Freedom just because of the controversy surrounding it. And it's got a good message and something that you guys make your own decisions about. What did you think about the film? Did you feel like it was pushing you a certain kind of way? Did it make you feel uncomfortable in some kind of way? Did you feel like it should have been politicized, or was that the left? Was that the right? Is this QAnon related? What is QAnon, and how does they tie into this? Like, are they associated with this at all, and we're just missing something? There's a very good chance of that. So put down in the comments below, educate us on anything that we're missing, and let us know like what we overlooked when we're analyzing this film, and essentially analyzing the controversy of it.
Yeah.
All right. Hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you on the next one.